Dogs are commonly known as man's best friend. Sorry about that, cats. And, that's mostly because, as you can tell from the compilation before you, they are so incredibly cute. Just look at them, you just want to go up and just cuddle their cute little faces off. Ugh. And, you know, they are so lovable, so huggable, you could even go as far to say that they have songs and movies oriented around them. In fact, you can even hear one of said songs in the background right now because who let the dogs out? Anyway, let's be honest with these movies centered around them, that the saddest moments in these movies is when the dogs die. You know, screw the humans, who cares about them? No, it's for dogs we have the true emotional attachment to, and we are only affected emotionally when they are hurt. So impacted emotionally, in fact, I cannot even speak straight when I'm talking about dogs' deaths in media, because it's just so emotional. Don't hurt the dog, do anything but hurt the dog, kill off all the human characters, I don't care so long as the dog survives. And that's why it's so torturous to hurt the dogs in The Last of Us Part 2. With a poor dog! No! The dogs are the only thing which I feel regret about killing. You know, the humans, no problem, I'll murder them any day of the week. But the dogs, on the other hand, oh, I don't want to murder the dogs, they're too cute. They didn't do anything wrong. Everyone knows that the main reason why that game is so controversial right now is because you have to, you know, beat and shoot dogs. If it wasn't for, you know, the murdering of dogs, then I'm sure everyone would be fine with the game. In fact, I don't think they'd even be mad with it whatsoever. I think The Last of Us Part 2 would quite honestly be the greatest game of all time in people's minds if it weren't for the fact that we had to go around killing dogs, and how torturous that was to us as players to be forced to do such horrific things. But outside of The Last of Us Part 2, there are, you know, far more important inclusions of dogs within Skylanders. So most importantly of all of them is Skylanders, where their cuteness is no different. First up, there is Funny Bone.
I have a bone to pick.
So when it comes to Funny Bone, he is basically an expression of the personality traits of dogs, because as you kind of saw from that introduction of his, he, well, first of all, has some amazing animations. Just look at the way how he sits right there, the way how he slow walks. It's just so relaxed and so calming as any, you know, puppy would behave. But regardless, on top of that, he also has frisbees, which not only does he launch, as you know, dogs love chasing, but he also chases them down and slams them on the ground in a huge fiery explosion. Now that is one of the most adorable things I've seen all day. Couple that with, of course, his really cute voice acting and his really cheesy one-liners, and you get a character that you just fall in love with and adore. Oh! And I'm only just scratching the surface of this guy because he can dig himself up a paw, which of course, you know, dogs tend to do that, you know, they tend to bury stuff, it tends to be bones that they bury, and in this case, rather than bury the bone, he's digging it up, so it's kind of like the opposite of what dogs traditionally do, how they traditionally behave. But anyway, on top of that, they also heal him up when they stroke him! Oh! I wish I was done with the adorableness, because, you know, I'm just about to die from pure exposure to ultimate cuteness, but unfortunately, you know, this will truly do it for me. His frisbee is reflected between the two paws. Oh, he's just so darn cute. That's it, guys. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here. Goodbye. I'm done. See ya. And then Hot Dog. Well,
See spot burn.
I mean, just look at him. How can you deny the cuteness of this guy right here? Just look at him. Oh, you're looking. Use your eyes and see just how damn cute this guy is. Wow, I think Stewdios put it perfectly in his top 10 Fire Skylanders.
So coming in at number 4, we have Hot Dog. Now, do I even need to explain why I like this character? It's a dog. It's cute. and it's a pun. Who cannot like this character unless you don't like Hot Dog, obviously, because then you clearly don't like this character, which means, once again, I'm just contradicting myself once again. But as I digress, stealing Ignite the Fire's quote, sue me.
Sue you? Oh yeah, you bet I will. I bet that, you know, you thought you were laughing when you made that joke, when you stole that catchphrase from me. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to bring the greatest lawyers from the entirety of the planet. I'm going to bring them here and I'm going to have them fighting for the court case of their career. This is going to go down as the biggest lawsuit in history.
Ha! Guess who's the laugher now? Me! I'm the laugher! I'm the laughingest laugher that ever laughed! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Funny stuff!
Anyways, getting back to Hot Dog, my favourite thing about him is the pun, because of course, you know, he's hot off the fire element, and he's a dog, and better yet, you know, hot dogs are a delicious food of all things, you know, a sausage with bread wrapped around it, you know, ketchup, mustard, onions, all of that in combination just creates for utter heaven as it enters your mouth and into your stomach. Mwah! How delicious indeed. As for plastic tasting hot dogs on the other hand, not so much.
I am so sorry, Hot Dog. I will never display such violence towards such a cute Skylander ever again.
But anyway, now that we have both of the dog characters within Skylanders assembled, it's time to address why this video is so dog themed, and that's because, well, with all this talk of dogs, it got puns on my mind. So I have a diary. It's a Transformers diary, but it's a diary all the same. I'm pretty wimpy, but I also happen to be a Portal Master, and these are dog days upon us. That's right, my pun of the video is Diary of a Wimpy Portal Master Dog Days. And I'm going to make an entire video based around this one single pun. Hey, a movie did it. A movie made its entire premise around a singular pun. So, you know, if terrible movies like Sherlock Gnomes Get That Crap Out of Here can do it, and so can I. So naturally, what I'm going to be doing here is that because this is a pun on Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days, I recently bought that movie in the hopes of reviewing it. So me and my best friend Luke Smith played through some Skylanders Trap Team with both of these characters in co-op mode. So what we're going to be doing with that is that we're going to be playing that gameplay in the background whilst I review Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days of all things. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into that element of this here video. So here we go with my Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days review, and all I can say is that the Rotten Tomatoes score on this further solidifies why critics have no idea what they're talking about, because this film has a measly 52%, and I have not seen a more unjust score for a movie in my entire life, because this film is an absolute masterpiece. What can I floor it for? Well, I suppose the fact that despite the fact that Dog Days is in the title, the dog actually gets very little screen time, so that's one of my major problems for the film, for mismarketing you could say. But really that's where my flaws begin and end with this masterpiece of a movie right here, because its characters are actually insanely fun. You find yourself liking and rooting for them, and you really want to see these relationships kind of like develop and evolve over time, because they're just filled with charisma and chemistry with one another. There's some great back and forth between the actors to create for some great rhythm and pacing, because the film is perfectly length. There's no real filler in there. And so naturally, the pace is constantly moving forward, the plot is always developing, our characters are always going through some sort of arc at some point or another. So the fact that they're, you know, able to have such clever writing for a movie aimed at children is something to definitely admire and look up to, especially when it comes to the acting as well, because the child acting is very good here. It makes the characters quite likeable. Even when we have Greg Heffley, who's lying out of his ass, he still has that kind of charm and entertainment value to him, especially when he does favours for Roderick. And so watching, you know, Roderick hug him and the interactions there are also just really fun and heartwarming to watch unfold before you. And for me, I'm a huge fan of slapstick, so the film relying on slapstick humour really gets to me. It got some good laughs, and that's purely because comedy is subjective. So if you're not into slapstick much, I can see why most jokes for this film would not land on you, but I prefer the slapstick over stuff like the farting and the poop jokes. So naturally, for of course, criticism behind the jokes would be, well, they're a bit repetitive and can bring the pacing down because they are the same in nature again and again and again. But since I find this stuff funny, and since it connects to me on a more personal level, and it, you know, really strikes my style of comedy, I laugh at it again and again, so that's where my lack of problems comes from it, you could say. So naturally this is just a charming, heartwarming film that's surprisingly well written, quite well paced. The characters have some great charisma and chemistry about them to create for some amazing joint arcs and some relationships that develop thoroughly throughout in some heartwarming manners. And the main problems with it really is for repetitive humour, or at least for style of that. It really does lack direction, and so it is just another one of these generic kids movies to put into the bargain bin. So naturally, I suppose it's nothing special, despite the fact that I called it a masterpiece to begin with, but in case you could not tell, that was a joke. So, that's about where this film stands. For me, I would say it's about a 7 out of 10, you know. If it tried a little more, if it really tried to hit it out of the park rather than just remain as a subpar, average kids movie, then, you know, it easily could have elevated that score. But as it stands, it doesn't really do anything wrong, with the exception of a few gross images and just things that you don't necessarily want to watch, like the men's shower room. So sometimes it does get a little too grotesque, and it can really bring you out of the investment of the film altogether. In fact, the editing style of the film isn't very immersive whatsoever. I do like it when we have the 2D animation based segments that's heavily reliant on the source material. Of course, it utilizes the artwork from the source material, so seeing that, it's actually really well executed, and it's really fun to watch these 2D animation segments play out. But apart from that, the editing isn't really stylized. We just move from scene to scene. There's no real clever transitions. It's all just cuts after cuts after cuts after cuts, which can become repetitive just as the humour does. So naturally, that's another problem, I suppose. But still, the heartwarming, the charmness behind this film, and overall the interactions between characters and the chemistry they have definitely salvage this, and it's still decent writing for a kids movie, much better than what I've seen from other kids movies, and with there being a huge lack of fart and poop jokes, because believe me, they still exist, but they are quite lacking in this film, so it's nice to see that. It just goes to show that a kids movie can be more than just those jokes, mind you. It can be more than just generic character template 5.0 where they go through some sort of minor arc, because here we have an arc between Greg and Frank Heffley as they grow in their relationship and start to respect one another and everything. So overall, I enjoyed this film more than it deserves, and that's where the 7 out of 10 comes from. Without further ado, let's be moving on with the video. Man, 5 minutes, that's practically perfect. Well done me. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. Ow, that was not my back, and now my funny bone is in pain. So before I end off this video, I have a few bonus things to look forward to. First of all, there's going to be a tournament that me and Luke conducted in Skylanders SWAT Force, utilising for many different forms of hot dog, because unfortunately Funny Bone would have been rendered inoperable in PvP because it got taken out of Trap Team, which is the game he was introduced in. So yeah, sorry about that, bud, but it's going to be a hot dog exclusive tournament to keep in line with the dog theming. And then after all of that tournament is played out, I have some really funny goofs that me and Luke performed during Time Town, when we of course struggled to get on a revolving elevator towards the end of the level. So believe me, you want to stick around for those goofs alone, because they are hilarious. But with all that said and done, let's hurry up and get into those tournaments without further ado.
So, here I am with the person who I recorded that very B-roll with before you.
Hello, hello.
So we're going to do a best of 3 hot dog versus hot dog in the arena battles right here. Hot dogception, you could even say.
I like hot dogs.
I would say he's a Skylander cannibal, but he himself is not a Skylander, so therefore he cannot be a Skylander cannibal. Anyway, we're going to go with just the most completed profile, I suppose.
Yeah, just random, you know.
Let's start off with Battle Arena. So we're going to keep it to 1 life, but we are going to put food on, we're going to put power-ups on, and we're not going to make it a fair fight, so then it's going to be harder on me, because I'm going to give Luke the overpowered versus a hot dog.
Yay!
So let's start with
die!
Rampart. Oh yeah, horrible, miserable death. So you get, well, me, I get molten hot dog.
Mustard.
Well, molten mustard, they're the same thing. So, we muted all the B-roll footage, and no doubt you guys are super duper without a hint of sarcasm curious about what he was talking about. Well, here's what he was talking about. Luke was being a nerd about Star Wars! I'm going to pretend you didn't just make that tune. Despite the fact that now you've got it stuck in my head.
Oh, Ray is terrible.
In case you can't tell, Luke is a huge fan of Rey. She's
No.
his favourite Star Wars character.
No!
Of all the actors in Star Wars, you know,
No.
Daisy Ridley is the one who
No.
he wants to meet the most.
Shh.
Oh no, it's this level. Why did I select this level? This level is notorious for being the level that's best for running away. Because you can just use the teleporters to go to the complete opposite side of the stage, so slow characters are kind of screwed. Yeah, they get hit by the mines. That's a good start. You see what I mean? It's a good stage for running away. Now die already. Be doing me a huge favour that way. Oh boy, this is close, but 29 health remaining. Get in there.
Damn it!
I would say that my victory was inevitable and that, you know, it was a fight for second and third place between you and another person. But unfortunately, you're the only other person, so your second place was inevitable either way.
Yeah, I know, it's sad.
So here comes the first victory. We are not going to rematch because instead what we are going to do is we are going to do a ring out this time around. And because ring out is something much more fast paced, I think 3 lives would be more appropriate. So with this one, TikTok Terrace is a pain because if you fall off, you automatically lose a life, and
Right.
TikTok Terrace has a lot of holes in it. Holes! Remember that movie with that one actor from Transformers in it?
Stanley Yelnats.
That's not the name of the actor, by the way. Regardless, we're going to put these guys off the portal right now. And for my choice, which was very, very funny here, is that we have ourselves a visual glitch. And speaking of glitches, that's going to be one thing that's going to be incorporated into our quick little bonus at the end of this session right here.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm going to move on to Clay Fiber and Hot Dog. And what the glitch was that player 1, plays just gone on the portal now, was not appearing on the screen. So Luke has the honour of in with the same hot dog, but now it's going to be harder to differentiate between the two.
I know.
With the exception of a lily pad hat. Remember, you have the lily pad hat.
Yes, I have green.
Press the X button.
I pressed it.
I kind of have somewhat of an advantage here because Luke does not know the PlayStation controller, but I know it like the back of my hand because I test these things for a living, so you kind of hope I know that they are by now.
Then you accidentally jump off a cliff.
Tock, Terrace.
I would do that for sake of comedic effect, but I remembered, oh wait, I actually want to win this.
Do you?
I'm not competitive at all. Whoever told you that was lying.
Fight.
Take this to the face.
No.
This is exciting! Boom! Yeah, what you do is you charge up super punches, and then you've got to use those to knock people out of the arena.
I just don't know how to use them.
Boom!
How do you use them?
Oh, he's out! Talking about right off the cliff, and you're
How
the
do
one
you use them?
who's doing it. Oh, for super punch, when you get it, it does it automatically with the next hit. Ah!
Oh.
Boom, baby! Yeah, it looks like I'm not the one falling off cliffs today. Hopefully my karma won't come back to bite my ass. Speaking of karma, that was very, very close right there. Get out!
No.
Get out
No.
of my arena! I should probably stop with the Scottish accent before I wind up offending someone, because I have no doubt that Luke's Scottish accent is better than mine.
Oh no.
Oh no! Big oh no! Oh, I have a bomb now. Which did nothing. Awesome. It's fine though, because this is what we have range for. Okay, let's get him boys, let's get him. Or, you know, I could get gotten instead, but this is all part of the plan, you see. I'm giving Luke false hope, making him drop his guard. 100% what's happening without a shadow of a doubt. Whoa! We both got super fist
Punch
thingy
at the same
McBobs at the
time,
same
yeah.
time right now. Oh boy! Yeah, take that, boyo. Is he even gonna take a single life from me?
Maybe.
Not if he, you know, faces back to me, he's not. Oh, can he make it back on stage? Yes, he can! That's what we call a close one right there. Oh, boy! Can he take a life from me? The answer is yes. Yes, he can.
What the heck happened there?
You fell off. I warned him, and he didn't heed my warning. It's like Imaginators all over again when Hugo warned us about the sheep. And we didn't listen, so the sheep came back to really take revenge on us.
Yep, it is.
So what we're going to do here is that we're going to give Luke the pity rematch. And by the pity rematch, I mean I'm going to give him Drobot.
Blink and destroy.
Here's how you win with Drobot, Luke.
Spam laser. Yeah.
No, you don't spam a laser, you hold the square button. That's how you win with Drobot.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to go with Quicksand Quarry. Just because, you know, this has a lot of wide open areas, make it very, very easy for you to, you know, get some easy kills on me. So what I'm going to do to make things even easier for Luke right here is I'm going to bring out my E3 hot dog, which this is its first time being on the portal, so, you know, complete and utter annihilation undersells the situation that is about to occur right here. Luke, please enjoy absolutely annihilate me so then at least one of us is enjoying ourselves.
I probably won't, but...
Here we go! Press that X button for one and only time you need to press the X button, because throughout the rest of the match you'll be pressing the square button and nothing else. That's what he says, is it? Famous words said before a final battle right here. Those words, that battle cry, they will be echoed throughout history. People will be quoting them 24/7. Now, from now on, whenever anybody says, they are directly quoting your battle cry before the final battle right here. The final battle where, you know, I have 300 health and you have 900 health. Whatever happened to hold the square button, Luke? It wasn't a difficult command. And then I'm here trying to press the triangle button, forgetting that I don't even have the upgrade as of just now.
I realised.
Thanks for pointing out the obvious there, narrator. Oh no! Like I said, complete and utter annihilation. Time to conduct the shortest post-match interview ever. So, Luke, how do you feel after absolutely annihilating a hot dog right now?
Amazing!
See what I mean? Most shortest, most glorious post-match interview I've heard in my life, that's for certain. But regardless, 2-1. With Luke's plug-in aside, we're going to get into that bonus without further ado, and believe me, it is a hilarious one. So I want to thank you all for watching the video up until this point. And, you know, you can't fault this video because the entire concept was based on a single pun.
It is.
Luke, if a movie can do it, I can do it too.
Debatable.
The movie I'm referencing is Sherlock Gnomes. Someone just came up with the pun, Sherlock Gnomes, and he was like, let's make an entire movie based on this pun.
That's a bad film.
So yeah, that's the context behind things, but we're actually going to go into bonus now.
Only use...
I am planning on doing a Bring Back the Sabotage series, which is going to involve challenges. That was a strange set of camera
You can
angles.
only use A.
Actually, that is a sabotage that I did, and with most characters, that's fine. Like, you just put on Drobot, hold the Y button, and then you win.
Oh, bye.
Yeah, key piece of advice, don't do that. How are you on the platform? This game is rigged.
I'm up.
Whatever you do, do not go that way. There's a villain there, which I don't want us to fight, because you will probably die, and it will be embarrassing.
Ah!
Don't fall off either.
I was being pulled to my death.
You were, this is true. Okay, this time let's just jump on it and just stay still. Oh my god!
This is amazing B-roll.
Why am I on top of you? Glitches too. I love how broken this game is. That was like the most fake. I've never heard. No, don't go for food. I can't believe you've done this. You know what?
What the heck?
What is going on? No! Okay,
Stay still. Stop. Don't do anything. Okay. Go onto the platform and don't press a button. Stop pressing buttons, Luke. Stop it. Stop pressing buttons. Okay, go. Yay! How is this an achievement for us? This is definitely going to go in like some sort of bonus at the end.
Oh yeah.